Cancers. This is your March 2016 horoscope. This is for anyone who was born with the sun, the moon, or their rising sign in Cancer. Thanks for joining me. What's going to go on for you this month, Cancer? Well, let's start out with seeing what the sun is up to. The sun is going to be in Pisces, and this is your ninth house of travel, of adventurousness, of blind faith and optimism. The ninth house is all about higher education, higher knowledge. It's all about expansion and growth and big goals. So these areas of your life are going to be highlighted, Cancer. I know my Cancers are normally homebodies, but some of you may be wanting to travel while the sun is in your ninth house. And this energy started at the very end of February, and it's carrying on until the 21st of March. So, however you've been doing with this ninth house energy, whether it's been expanding your mind with higher knowledge, whether it's been expanding your horizons through travel, whether it has been making some bigger long-term goals and seeing things from like a bigger picture, like a higher point of view, that's carrying on through this month. So Cancers, if you are looking to advance in your education, the sun in the ninth house is a great time. You may be seen in a positive light by, any in any academic setting, but also the sun is like a flashlight. Wherever it's landing in your chart, wherever it's transiting in that part of your life, the spotlight is on you. And that is whether it's good or bad, whether you've been doing well or you're not doing so well. The light is going to be shining, the flashlight is going to be pointing that out. So just be mindful of that and take advantage of the energy by doing well in your classes, expanding your mind, maybe reading some books, because I know my Cancers are normally homebodies and you guys don't really like to stray too far away from home, generally speaking. So if you don't want to get out and travel, then read some good books at home, snuggled up in your cuddly blankie or something, and still expand your horizons that way. Also, adventurousness through food. Ooh, Cancers, you love food. So adventurousness with foreign foods that you've never tasted before. If you don't want to get out of town, at least get out and about within your town, Cancer, and enjoy that time with someone special, experimenting and, trying new places to go, festivals. I mean, in a lot of areas of the world, it's like springtime right now. Some places it's still winter, but there might be some nice weather to check out some festivals or like cultural centers and events. So good time for that while the sun is in Pisces. When we get to the 21st of the month, Cancer, the sun is going to be in Aries. That is your 10th house of career. So it's time to get serious. You are going to have a spotlight on you in your career sphere. So make sure you're doing a good job, okay? Make sure you're working hard, because even if you're not, they're going to see that very clearly. But it's a good time to shine, though. It's a good time to get along with authority figures and have them help you out to boost your career. But also remember, the 10th house is the energy of the military officials, right? Like generals and sergeants and whatnot. So whenever people have the 10th house highlighted, they do kind of feel a little more authoritative, authoritative, whatever the word is. You feel like you're the boss, okay? You're the big boss, Cancer. So be careful. I know Cancers, you're generally speaking pretty nice people that try to get along with everyone, but you may feel a little more bossy and it may be a little bit more harder to get along with authority figures. But at the same time, this energy does promote the opposite, which is getting along better with them seeing you in a positive light. So make sure that you're using the energy that way. So what's going on with Venus, the planet of love and enjoyment? Well, she is traveling through Aquarius still through the 13th of March. So that energy that was going on in February, at the end of February, is carried on as far as Venus, sprinkling her Venus fairy dust throughout your 8th house. The 8th house is a very, very intimate house, Cancer. Cancers are very intimate people. You guys really do enjoy one-on-one bonds with someone special that you trust. The 8th house is highlighting intimate bonds, like intimate partnerships, where you're just together with another person and you share everything. You share your resources, you share your finances, you share money, you share food, you share everything, right? So just make sure that while Venus is there, you're utilizing the energy by taking the chance to really talk with your partner. If you are partnered up in a relationship with someone, talk to them about coming up with more ways where you guys can really more intimately bond with one another and spend more time together. You know, Cancers, you guys are normally very cuddly people, so it's a good time to snuggle up with that one person that you trust and talk about any issues that you have, any problems, any fears, any anxieties, and also good things. You know, have some good times with them, one-on-one, together, with someone intimate and special. But also, Venus is money, and the 8th house also deals with money and finances, with joint finances. So while Venus is there, you know, your partner could possibly get a raise that can boost your joint income together, or maybe you guys will make a big purchase that is because Venus rules material possessions. So making a big purchase together that's like an investment, a long-term investment, could be possible. The 8th house is also taxes, so maybe, you know, you guys getting your taxes done, actually getting some money back together could be very, very nice for you. So just keep that in mind while Venus is in the 8th. The way to not use the Venus energy is by getting all crazy, like, because it's a scorpionic energy, it relates to the sign of Scorpio. Don't get all crazy and jealous, Cancer. Don't be looking through his or her phone, talking about who's this, who's that, I don't recognize that number. Ooh, who's this that sent you a picture? Well, actually, if they're sending pictures, you and I know, as a Scorpio, I know that is not cool, but just saying, try not to go overboard with jealousy or anything, because the 8th house can bring out that type of energy. When we get to the 13th of the month, Cancer, Venus goes into Pisces, and that is your 9th house. So here's more adventurous energy. Here's more energy to try some more foreign food. Ooh, I know you guys like that. And also too, because Venus is how you enjoy your time, your personal time, and the 9th house is, you know, just traveling and stuff. So yeah, traveling with a partner that you really like, but also getting out and about in your town. As I mentioned when the sun was there, you know, this energy is going to carry on with Venus being there. So traveling, being adventurous within your town or your city or your state, also enjoying some good reading that is entertaining to you, because Venus is entertainment, you know, it's enjoyment. So enjoy those things while Venus is there. Venus is going to be in Pisces the whole rest of the month from the 13th on. So great time for travel plans, okay? So just keep that in mind. Get out of your shell, Cancer, for once, and get out and travel with somebody that you love and have fun. Mars starts out with still being in your 5th house, and he's going to be there for the first 6 days of March. Now, Mars has been in your 5th house in the sign of Scorpio since the beginning of January of 2016. And Mars is a very aggressive energy. He wants to just get things done. He points his arrow and he just goes straight forward, straight ahead after whatever he wants. Mars can cause some conflicts because he sees things that are unfair and unjust, and he's like, no, I'm not going to stand for that. Unfortunately, with Mars, you can point that arrow at others, but others can be pointing it at you too. You can be attracting more aggression to yourself. The 5th house is the energy of children, but also romantic partners, like casual dating romantic partners. So if you are casually dating someone, the plus side to Mars being in the 5th is more passion within that, you know, that realm, you know, of casual dating. So some romance and passion can definitely be possible with Mars being there, but also it can cause like lovers' quarrels. So just be careful with that. Also, with children, your children can have been acting a little unruly. I know some Cancers that I know have had that issue the last couple months with their kids kind of trying to challenge their authority a little more and trying to be a little bit more like wild and get a little out of control, to where you have to discipline them more and you have to check them. And I know Cancers, you guys love your babies. You don't want to hurt them. You don't want to yell at them. Generally speaking, for Cancers that I know of and witnessed. But you know what? There may be some times that come up where you do have to enforce a little bit more authority with the kids, and I know it's difficult, but you know, if they're acting up, it must be done. So just be mindful of that. But that is until the 6th, and then Mars moves into Sagittarius, which is your 6th house. So Cancers, the 6th house is the house of health and your work environment and the daily duties that you do, your habits, your routines, your regimes. So with Mars being there, Mars is aggressive. The sign before you, Gemini, has had Mars in their 6th house this whole time. when it was in Scorpio. And a lot of them have had issues with conflicts in the workplace with, say you work in customer service, you can get some customers that are a little bit more aggressive. So just be prepared to deal with conflicts with customers and try not to fire back at them with the same aggressive, angry energy. And I know how hard it is, trust me, but you have to try because Mars being there, and then also you're going to have like some 10th house energy. You are going to be in the spotlight at work, in your career. And if the 6th house also deals with work, if you put the two together, there can be some possibilities that, you can get into some trouble at work. So I would be careful with that, Cancer, but use the 6th house Mars energy for tackling a lot of work. Like if you have a heavy workload, you may be given more work actually when Mars is in the 6th. So get that work tackled, and you will have the drive and the passion to just get that work done and not let anything or anyone stop you or get in your way. But yes, be careful of the aggression thing. But also with health, Mars is a very aggravating energy. It can be irritating. It's a hot, fiery energy. And then the 6th house, of health, it can like aggravate some problems for you. And I know Cancer is the sensitive area of your body for you is the stomach. So be careful and try to take care of yourself. I know it's hard to avoid like flus and viruses that go around, but really try to take care of yourself and keep your health up. Take your vitamins, everything. Wash your hands a lot to avoid the stomach flu. And also try not to eat foods that are going to irritate your system, your digestive system. And just really take care of your health during that time, because some inflammation and aggravation can come up, Cancer. But remember, Mars is also tackling problems and getting them taken care of. So whatever problems come up, whether it's your health, your work, and also debt. The 6th house is dealing with debts as well, like monetary debt. So tackling debts, it's a good time to do that, especially if you get a tax return back. Make sure you use it wisely and maybe pay off some debts. So for the first 6 days of March, Mercury will be continuing to travel through the sign of Aquarius, which is your 8th house of intimate partnerships. So here's more of that 8th house energy. Venus is going to be there too. So yeah, it can be a time where you're talking to your partner about monetary goals together, your joint finances together. Like, what are your plans? How can you keep more organized and more budgeted with your joint finances, your joint resources? And also talking about your intimate partnership together. How can you guys keep that flame going, to where you really desire each other no matter how long you've been together? So it's a good time to talk about those things when Mercury is in the 8th. The negative side of Mercury in the 8th is very dark, deep psychological thinking, and maybe some old wounds, psychological wounds coming back in your mind from the past. And if that happens, just remember you can always find someone to talk to, Cancer, and get those, if you have ugly thoughts like that come up, just get them out and talk to someone and try your best to heal from them, and make sure that you flush them out of your mind and out of your way, out of your life, once and for all for good. When we get to the 6th, Mercury moves into the 9th house. This is a lot lighter mercurial energy. So your thoughts will become a little more optimistic, because that's what the 9th house is, a very optimistic energy. It's like the energy of Sagittarius, and they always have these big smiles on their faces, generally speaking about Sag, and they like to say the word awesome a lot. Oh, that's so awesome, and they have a lot of energy, and that's how your thinking is going to be. So it is a good time to think about long-term goals and get excited about them, get optimistic about them, and get them in order, because Mercury is like a manager, an organizer. He likes to put things in order and, really rationalize things. So good time for that, for goals. But also, the 9th house, once again, is higher knowledge. So with all this 9th house energy this month, I wouldn't doubt if some Cancers are like taking some classes or reading a lot of books or something to like really boost their higher mind. And because you're going to be having a lot of 10th house energy going on coming up, I would say definitely take advantage of your powers, the energy that's being given to you with your higher mind, with the 9th house energy. When we get to the 22nd of the month, Mercury is going to move into Aries, and this is your 10th house. So the 10th house is career. And Mercury is a busybody, so you may have more demands and commands put on you when it comes to career and be super busy. Mercury whizzes around. He's gonna keep your mind like, ooh, like that, you know, so you need to stay sharp, Cancer. You need to really stay on top of your work duties. But Mercury will help you do that because, like I said, he likes to organize things, you know, he likes to manage things and really think about things. So multitasking might be something that you may have more energy to do in the career sphere when Mercury is there. And maybe just chatting it up with boss figures too. So, you know, try to get a lot of good advice in the career sphere from anyone that you can to help boost you to where you would like to be as far as, like, you know, the highest that you can go in your career. Cancers, it's very important that you know about the eclipses that are coming up in the month of March, especially because eclipses involve the moon. And Cancer, you are naturally ruled by the moon. So eclipses are pretty much every month there's a new moon and there's a full moon. The new moon brings new beginnings. The full moon brings things to a close and to like a final decision. When there's an eclipse, it's like 10 times stronger and it lasts longer, like up to 6 months. So you may or may not have things happen in these areas of your life that I'm going to mention on the day of the eclipse, or you may or may not, or you may have them start to build up before the eclipse, or they may gradually happen after the eclipse. It's not always exact when it comes to astrology, but just keep in mind these dates and areas of your life that are going to seriously be affected. So the new moon eclipse is going to be in Pisces on March 8th. This is at 18 degrees Pisces in your 9th house. So, new beginning with travel. You can plan a new trip that you're going to take in the next 6 months, which can be very exciting, Cancer. Good opportunity to get out of your shell and do something different, something enjoyable somewhere else. Also, new beginning with education. You can maybe plan on starting some new classes in the spring, or maybe sign up for classes for the summer or the fall, you know, because the eclipse lasts a long time. So a decision to start something new with education may come up. The full moon eclipse is going to be on March 23rd at 3 degrees Libra in your 4th house. Cancer, the 4th house is your home. This is a Cancerian energy because the 4th house represents the same energy as Cancer, home and family and being comfortable and your actual place of living. So things can come to a close when it comes to those areas. Like maybe you decide to move somewhere to a new place of living. Maybe you decide to buy a home. Maybe a decision to sell your home. Maybe a decision to move a family member in or out of the house. Anything revolving around family is going to change for you within the next 6 months. So I would definitely be prepared for that. And don't be scared, Cancer. I know you guys love your comfortable homes, your comfortable shell. It doesn't always mean that something terrible is going to happen that's going to rock your world and knock you right out of that comfortable shell. Although I'm not going to lie to you, something like that could happen, but just remember, whenever changes happen in your life, it kind of pushes you in another direction that you are supposed to go, okay? On a different path that's better for you. So if anything happens to your comfortable shell, I'm sorry in advance. I know you guys may be sensitive about it, but just remember, it's all for the better. Even if it's not that great at first, it's all to push you on a better path. So just keep that in mind. But it could be something good though. Like a new home is always wonderful. So next 6 months, if you're thinking about buying a home, it may be a favorable time for you because of the eclipse. All right, Cancers, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. Please subscribe and continue to watch my channel because I do these horoscopes every month now. I absolutely love doing them for you. So I hope March goes well for you, and I will see you guys next month in the month of April. Take care of yourselves. Peace.